My name is Mary Lynn Coitra. I am a psychologist who specializes in the treatment of traumatized individuals, children, and adults, and I work at the NYU Child Study Center.
It's the question on everyone's mind. Why didn't Shawn Hornbeck run?
I think this is the easiest question to answer. We know from people who've had this experience, such as Patty Hearst and Elizabeth Smart, that they are told that if they run, they will be killed, or their family, their loved ones will be killed. And, someone might respond and say, that's impossible. Why would you even believe that? And the reason is because the impossible has already happened. They've been abducted from their home. They've been assaulted, abused, and held captive. Who imagines this can happen? If that sort of thing has already happened once, this person has incredible power to turn your life upside down, inside out, and backwards. What else can they not do? I think it's very easy to believe that escape might mean one's own death, or even worse, for children who really care about their families often, right? That someone they love would be killed because of them.
But clearly, he had every opportunity. He was with the Douglas family. He was with the police, and he never took that opening.
Well, I think he was living a life where he was aware of the possible consequences of what might happen if he tried to escape.
So this is control by fear.
Yes. I'd say it's control by terror. That the person sort of lives in a sort of almost altered state of high levels of terror. I would call what Michael Devlin did physical, psychological, and sexual torture. Well, there are sort of tactics for any person who is an interrogator or takes somebody and wants to brainwash them, is to essentially break them down physically and psychologically, right? So there's physical torture immediately and relentlessly. Then there's physical torture or abuse and sexual abuse randomly, so you never know when it's coming. There is disruption of sleep, so the person becomes disorganized, loses the resource to be able to think logically and clearly, and then obviously incredible verbal threats that are sort of reinforced with physical domination, and physical assaults.
Shawn was rewarded and received gifts of cell phones, bikes, video games, sleepover privileges. Does that surprise you?
No, I think the idea of both being an abuser and the gift giver is the same message, gives the same message, right? I control your life. I can give and I can take away. I define your experience entirely, right? And it also says, I can hurt you, but I may be the only one who will love you as well. And here's my love gifts.
Shawn told me that he has lived 2 lives. Is it possible for him to put that horrible life behind him, the one that he shared with Michael Devlin?
There is recovery, and there is putting behind very horrible experiences. Often people say, can I go back to being who I was before? And that's really not possible. And most people who come through these experiences say, I'm changed forever. And so the goal of recovery is basically to try and make sense of what's happened and go forward from there.
I expected to meet someone who was raging inside, someone who was just angry at the world. And he says he's not. And I found that surprising, that he's not angry.
Well, I think people who are liberated essentially from captivity sometimes are so joyful at being free, truly free, that they don't want to waste a second, being angry or bitter. I think over time, though, most people have to confront what's happened, what's been done to them. That's some injustice, right, been done. And the question will be, when he comes to that confrontation, will he be ready to hold on to his sense of value of a good life?
Are you optimistic that Shawn Hornbeck will be able to lead a happy and normal life?
I'm very optimistic for him. I think we all should be optimistic for him, that he survived these many years, that he was able to persuade his captor to keep him alive. Shows ingenuity, creativity, and intelligence, and we hope that those qualities will see him through the process of really reintegration and